Welcome to the Man Event. It is Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern once again. And hey, listen, we are excited that you have chosen to spend some time with us. We got a great show, and we're going to work hard to make sure that it is our best show yet. We've got a full show planned, lots and lots of Major League Baseball, exciting stuff on the horizon. Hey, has anybody heard about this incident with Wayfair and child trafficking? NHL, NFL, and more. And as always, I'm B-Love here with the Pooh Bear, Matty Ho, back from vacation, but yet to report to work, the Chief. Let's get it going, boys. All right. So episode 18 of the Man Event.
Episode 18.
Wow. B-Love, but before we get started, I'd like to have just a moment, please.
Oh, great.
Because I feel that I owe an apology to you guys and to everybody else out there. And here it is. And I'll start with the basis for it. I was on vacation, last week, and I had a few extra minutes in the evening, and I was scanning for something to watch on TV. And what do I find? I find Major League Soccer tournament. And I said, I am into this. This is going to be a thing. I turn it on.
Okay.
And I was wrong. It's not going to be a thing. It was still soccer. It was still terrible. I gave it a shot. I knew I was one who I was promoting this. I was the one saying that this is going to be something. Guys, I'm sorry I was wrong. I'm deleting the Vazulu app from my phone. You will not hear that anymore from me. So,
are you saying no sports is better than soccer sports?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wow. Well, the good news is you're not going to have to wait long. Just out of curiosity, how much attention did you pay to it?
Listen, I gave it a solid 10 minutes. I'm going to say maybe 8, but it was more than I needed to.
Okay.
Who was on the pitch?
It was LA Galaxy, I think, and somebody else. I didn't recognize anybody. Nothing made a lot of sense to me. There was no scoring. The ball was just being passed around left and right. I said, "Oh man, come on!"
So nobody working. Oh, nothing like that.
Nothing. There were no Vazulas. There was nothing in the stand. There was nothing helping me. I was like, "This is terrible." Two guys chit chatting about the ball going back and forth, to this guy to that guy, and then nothing. So I'm sorry
you had to go through that.
That's my bad.
Listen, so I tried to tune in to, I think we talked about this last week, to an MLS game last Sunday morning. And I click on the channel, no game. The game had been postponed. I don't know. I never did go back and look at the details, but it had something to do with their COVID protocol. And remember, this is a league that's like in the bubble.
Right.
No ins and outs. So,
well, the bubble has burst. I'm sorry. So,
well, apology accepted.
Well, the NBA's in the bubble too.
Sorry,
right?
you watch soccer.
Okay, so let me ask you this: would you rather have to be forced to watch soccer or talk about the NBA?
Oh wow! Man, that is tough.
Listen, Matty.
Let me just try this. Let's see what happens. It's like narcolepsy. You ready? NBA. Is it over? Listen, wake them up. Soccer's on.
Hey, for
Matty, if you're not careful, he's going to go on vacation again.
Oh, again.
Oh my heavens.
52 weeks a year, and he's on vacation 48.
The guy just came back from a week's vacation. He's probably on duty one day this week.
Hey, I'm on duty tomorrow.
All right.
His one day.
The one day.
No,
somebody just scored in soccer.
Nobody scored. Nobody scored. That is just as me saying goodbye. That's my goodbye thing right there. So
that's your goodbye to the Vuvuzuela.
So,
that's it.
Now, we made a promise last week to our viewers that this week when you returned, there would be an injury story or a boat damage story.
We did break that promise. We did
made
make that
that
promise.
promise.
And listen, I listen, before we get into that,
There's got to be.
I've got to make a bold prediction.
Okay.
There is both.
You know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Do you want to hear the boat story?
Yes.
Does it also involve the injury story?
No, they're two different stories. So
Are there any hospitals involved?
not for the for the boat. Yeah, I mean, it didn't work out. So look, so here we go. Okay, before we go, I mean, it's a long trip. I haul this thing to Alabama every year. It's like 8-9 hours. So I do a lot of maintenance on it before we go. Before we go, I check it out. The calipers are hung up on one of the brakes, so I had that replaced. I had my spare tires blown apart, so we get a new tire. I put that on the trailer. I think I'm good to go.
Right.
The day before, we're packing it up. We turn it on. It runs just fine. We get to Alabama, we launch it. My wife and my son are in the boat. Actually, both kids are in the boat. I go park at the parking spot. I come back and they're just sitting in it. It's just sitting there. It's not on or anything. And I'm like, come on, man. You know, things got to warm up before you can run it. And I'm like, why isn't the boat on? She says, Lisa says, it won't start. And I said, oh, come on. It's got to start. I mean, it started yesterday. So we get in there and I start, checking everything. Is it in neutral? Blah, blah, blah. It doesn't start. 3 guys show up. First guy shows up and we said, hey, man, can you give us a jump? He says, you have cables? I said, yeah, they're in my truck. Go get them. So I got one of those kits, those emergency kits in my truck. You know, it's got cables, it's got like one of those screwdriver things with like 6 different things. It's got some fuses. I don't know where they go, and some zip ties, which can fix almost anything. So
That and duct tape.
yeah. So I pull them out and I get there and it's not going to reach. They're only like 8 feet long. They're not going to reach. This time a second guy has shown up. He's like, hey man, I got real jumper cables out of my truck. I'll go get them. So he walks over to his truck. Dude, makes me look bad. He's got like their jumper cables are 20 feet long. They're, as thick as, like a massive hose thing. I said, this is embarrassing. These guys just killing me with these jumper cables. So anyway, we hook them up from boat to boat. Nothing happens. Not a click, no nothing. So now Towboat US, they're like vultures, they're all over the place. Of course, I don't have Towboat US membership. This guy shows up. He's got his little jumper box. He's like, put this on there, leave it hooked up to the boat, and power it right up. Okay, so I throw it on there, I hit the button. Nothing. Now I got 3 guys scratching their head. Everybody's telling me, they're like, could be a problem here. Blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, we're still not at the dock. We're at the dock, but we're nowhere near where the trailer is going to go because it's floated away. So they said, well, everybody pretty much agrees that it's a starter now because it's not making any clicking noise, not doing this or that. Anything.
So all the electrical stuff on your boat is working.
Yeah, everything else is working. I got 13 volts on the meter. I've got, the village blower is working. Everything else is kind of working. So, and the only thing left to do is for Lisa to swim the boat back to the trailer.
Lisa. And listen, okay, time out.
That's a true story.
You weren't embarrassed enough.
And you're still married.
By the jumper cable situation that you made your wife jump.
I didn't. Dude, that's
wow.
I did give her some credit. Someone had to go get the truck. Someone had to go get the truck and back it down and get it into position. And so she can't drive the truck with the trailer on it. She's uncomfortable with that. So I go and do that. And meanwhile, she's jumping in trying to swim the boat back. There were 3 grown men standing. 4 grown men. Sorry, 3 other guys plus me. We're all standing there watching her swim this 27-foot boat to the dock. And I did give her some credit. I said, that's a good woman right there. All
right, Pooh Bear. I got an audience participation moment.
Wow. Okay.
We have got to find out what is more embarrassing for the chief.
Okay.
The jumper cable game or his wife swimming the boat back to the dock. Which one is more embarrassing if you're the chief?
Either way, you've lost your man card.
Dude, trust me, it gets worse. So okay, so
it gets worse.
Yeah, it gets worse. So the towboat guy, he's going to do me a favor. He's going to do me a solid. He calls a buddy of his that works at Alex City Marine in Nowhere, Alabama. Gets him on the phone. It's a Sunday at 3:30 in the afternoon. The guy says, hey, man, I'll get on it first thing in the morning if you bring it over there at 8 a.m. I said, okay, I'll be there. Meanwhile, jumper cable guy, his girlfriend tells me, she goes, hey, my brother is a Marine mechanic, works over at so-and-so. He says he'll do it first thing tomorrow morning too. I'm like, well, who do I go with? You know, I mean, jumper cable girlfriend guy or the towboat guy who actually, you know, made a – so I went pro. I said, okay, I'll go to Alex C. Marine, take it up there. I'm there at 8 o'clock in the morning. There's nobody there. Alabama time's a little different from everybody else's time. You know, they kind of when they get there. So it's never embarrassing to have a good woman by your side. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. So okay, long story short, too late for that, I guess. You know, so they do show up 8:45, and I can tell right away this isn't going to go well. I don't know who Steve is. Steve's the guy that Towboat talked to. Okay, Steve never shows up. I'm talking to this guy named Ryan. Ryan's not happy that I'm there. Some scrawny guy shows up with a meter, does get on the boat right before I leave, and so I leave. And I don't hear anything. And they said first thing in the morning, right? I mean, how long does it take to put a starter in? It's not that difficult, right? So
can you access it on your boat easy enough?
No. If we could do it easy enough, I'd do it myself, man. But I mean, it is, you got to open the hatch, crawl down into the engine compartment, and then like I'm in there with a wrench trying to whack it, trying just to get the thing to start, right? And I could barely make contact with it with a wrench, let alone, you know, work the stuff that needs to be done. So anyway, we go to get the so all day Monday, nothing happens. I call them first thing Tuesday morning. They give me blah, 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 blah. I know I'm the out of towner. I get that. I'm the out of towner. I'm asking these guys, you know, to put me to the front of the line. So I'm really not trying to complain about, you know, hey, you guys said you were gonna do it first thing. Meanwhile, we're on the lake, which you kind of need a boat if you're gonna enjoy your vacation on the lake. That's what we're there for.
True.
So anyway, I feel the pressure about it. Anyway, so it's like 5:30 Tuesday night. The guy calls me and says, "Hey, it's done. If you want to come pick it up, you can get it." Now, meanwhile,
so you had no boat Monday at all, and all day Tuesday. Too.
Well, we did while we were. So we knew there were 14 of us on the trip. You know, my family, my brothers and sisters. Well, my brother didn't go. My sisters and my mom and dad and their families came. So we actually did rent a second pontoon, but we were always planning on doing that. But the difference between 150 horsepower, 22-foot pontoon boat and my, 27-foot, 375 horsepower gull boat is a little different on a lake, So we were putting around on the pontoon boat. So we scoot over there. I've got enough time to look up the prices of this stuff. I'm like, I wonder how much a starter costs for this thing. It's about $180, right? So they're like, well, how much do you think this is going to cost? I'm like, anything under $300, I'm pretty happy with, So, but I'm going to pay the outer towner rate. So the outer towner rate
and the emergency rate,
and by the way, the $3.99 interest fee for using your credit card, which they didn't forget to tell you. They didn't tell me about when I signed up for all this. So for $479 later for a starter that took an hour to put in.
Well, man,
definitely got the outer town
peeling off those hundreds, right?
Hey. Yeah, just let them fly, man.
We've got some audience participation. I want to get to. John says it's never embarrassing to have a good woman by your side, and you can say that again.
True. John is right.
Chief has a wonderful woman by his side. He's very lucky.
What's that saying go? If there's behind every good man is a great woman, right?
There you go.
It's a little bit sexist of you in this day and age to say that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, and what if you're not a man or a woman? You identify as a they or something. I forget what the terminology is.
Oh my gosh, I'm not getting into that.
I know, but we just don't know what to say anymore.
So earlier on, Daniel said no soccer when we were talking about soccer, and we couldn't agree more except for being.
What's up, Danimal? How are you?
Listen, if you guys understood it, you would enjoy it.
Probably. And Annie chimed in. Not really sure what. I think maybe she was trying to reply to her sister's post or something.
Yeah, what has this got to do with the main event?
I don't know. I'm guessing Annie was chiming in on somebody else's, post and just happened to mistakenly post on ours, which, welcome to the show, Annie.
Dude, I'm pretty happy to hear that sample stations are back at Costco. And you show up there around 11:30, you're good to go. Maybe make one loop around there, get the cheese and the little meatballs. Yeah,
eating good in the neighborhood.
Fresh
right?
OJ.
Listen, we've been members at Costco probably for the past 15, maybe 20 years. I have never taken any of those samples.
Oh, you are missing out, my man. What? How do you know if you like the chicken sausage or not if you don't try it?
That's what everybody does after church on Sunday, right? They go there or Sam's Club. You make the rounds. It's like a buffet.
Pooh Bear also hasn't been to church in 15 or 20 years. So
What? Why do we eat chicken sausage? Are we out of pigs?
Well, the wife likes it. So
Well, here's the problem at Publix. What if you're going down the wrong way on that aisle, and all you really want to do is get to that deli to get that soup she was talking about, but you can't get there because you're going down the wrong way. It's like the Publix police are going to come get you and shoo you right out or something.
they may not come get you, but the other customers will let you know. Those old women, they will let you know.
You've seen some of that on the interwebs out there, man. Some videos of people getting into fights and stuff over things like that.
I just shimmy down the aisle. I get there and pretend like I'm like looking at something. Like it's like 10 feet down on the left. I know I'm going the wrong way. So I just wait for people to pass me when I'm pretending like, ooh.
So you sneak in.
That brings up a good point. Yeah. What happens if you're in the aisle, right? And you're like, you want to get a can of baked beans. So you get it. And then, I forgot my olives. And they're like 8 feet down, but the wrong way. Do you have to do a whole, technically, do you got to do a whole lap to get back to the olives?
Absolutely not.
What's the law?
It depends which way your cart's facing.
Law?
If your cart's facing the right direction and you shimmy, you do the shimmy, you'll be all right.
You can just put that cart in reverse, man.
I think it also depends on what store you're in. If you're in a Trader Joe's, you better follow the rules and go the right way.
You know it.
If it's Winn-Dixie, do what you want. Nobody cares.
Nobody a free for all in there.
Right. Nobody has any teeth in there, so
they don't even have any. They don't even have any directions in the aisles at Winn-Dixie.
Yes.
Well, I don't know.
No, no. Well, I was just before you came.
So what happens at Trader Joe's? What's the threshold that you can go past your item and actually go back and get it when you're in the aisle?
They don't have
without violating the rule.
I was just thinking of the clientele that typically frequents a Trader Joe's.
Well, okay.
A lot of Karens. Let's put that way. A lot of Karens.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. What's the threshold? And then do they tackle you? Do you get thrown in cuffs?
You're not tackling me.
No, they just won't let you have any of that fine chocolate they have.
So listen,
to Andrea, yes, what a time to be alive.
I think there's some more interesting stuff to talk about than this. But hey, listen, Chief, we're not going to let you off the hook. We'll come back later. We got to hear the injury story.
The injury story is less entertaining. I'm going to tell you. I'll warn you that now. So.
Well, maybe we won't come back to it at all then.
As a teaser, was the injury less expensive?
Oh, way less expensive because now I'm not going to boot camp for a couple days. So it's saving me.
Always an excuse. Always an excuse. I've been waiting for a couple of days to hear the revelation of I'm not going to boot camp this week.
I haven't actually committed to not going, but I didn't go during vacation. And where we got Wednesday this week would be the closest.
These days, he only partially participates anyway. It's like hey, everybody go run a lap. Chief, you just kind of walk back and forth right here. Everybody go do this. Hey, Chief, you just you do this version of it.
So we got Lovell. We got the Chief coming back from vacation, and he's already bailed on boot camp, and he hasn't been to work. What does this guy do?
Wow, I don't know.
Not clear. Hey, is there boot camp?
Moving on.
Today I took pictures. I took pictures today.
Is there boot camp on Friday?
You had a photo shoot today.
Is there boot camp? I don't think we have boot camp Friday. So we haven't committed to any days yet because the Chief has been ghosting.
I learned that from B-Love. If you don't want to disappoint somebody, you just don't answer them.
Wow.
Not true.
Wow. Well, you know what? There is Friday. We don't have boot camp, but we do have baseball.
Yes,
That's
we
what
do.
You're threatening us with, yes.
Yes.
Rays play Friday, right?
Yes.
Baseball. So you see,
Cowbell's back. Cowbell's back.
Oh, baby.
Somebody get that bell.
Oh, no, the Missoula's gone. The cowbell is back.
We need to deliver a headphone warning before that happens.
Baseball's back. Screw soccer.
So baseball is officially back Thursday night.
Who's
that's the official opening night, but the Rays kick it off on Friday at 6:40.
Yep.
No. Do we want to place bets if there's actually going to be a game Thursday?
Oh, yeah, there'll be games Thursday, guaranteed.
Well, I don't know. We thought there was going to be an MLS game last weekend when you sat down to watch it, and it just didn't happen. Anything could happen this week to screw up baseball before it even gets a chance to start. That's what
Matt, you're about to get fired from the main event.
Hey, someone's got to bring up reality here. Look at again, going back to Andrea. What a time to be alive. We don't know what to expect. Baseball, no baseball. I don't know. See what happens. We're hoping for baseball.
I'm excited. What do you guys think about the Rays' chances this season?
Well, in 60 games.
By the way, we're all wearing Rays gear except for Matt.
Yeah, Matt doesn't own any Rays gear.
This is
saying.
This is
so
Rays,
and the reason we are
Rays gray.
We should explain the reason you guys are wearing the Rays gear.
Yes.
And I'll explain why I'm not in a minute.
You've heard us talking for a few weeks about potential to have our likeness placed on a cardboard cutout inside the Tropicana field. Well, that is happening. It finally happened when the Rays agreed to do this. They sent out the email. We have pounced on it. So today we came over here and we did a semi-professional photo shoot to have our likenesses captured, and we'll be submitting those tomorrow to have our cutouts made. We will be at every game Tropicana Field this season.
Maybe one of us will get a foul ball.
Yeah, I still haven't read. Now that was happening for the A's, right? But we haven't had any confirmation about the Tampa Bay Rays providing any balls.
Well, you may not get it, but as long as you get hit by it, that's still.
I'm just really happy for all the people that once they open Tropicana Field, that are going to get an opportunity to have their picture taken next to my cutout.
Yes.
Wow.
If you can find me, I'll autograph it.
Likewise. John says the Rays are already halfway to the playoffs. He's right, because
that's true.
Half the games have been eliminated.
So is everybody else, though, right?
True.
Yeah, so we took our pictures today for our likenesses for the cardboard cutouts. That was fun. We did some regular traditional poses, and we did some some man event poses. Because one of the downsides of this whole thing is that we weren't allowed to wear our man event gear.
Yeah.
No third-party advertising allowed.
Right.
Oh, cool.
I did wear the yellow lei though for the Rays, and I had a yellow do-rag on just to help make my character stand out just a little bit more, so I can find them in the sea of cutouts.
I will say I think that they missed a revenue opportunity here though. Because you could because they could have charged extra for like, hey, it's $120 if you want to advertise Coca-Cola or whatever.
Yeah, I just think they open themselves up to a whole lot of.
Yeah,
you let his lawn business be advertised, but not my fence business.
Or something more controversial be out
like
there.
The
and
dollhouse.
The
dollhouse is advertised. Woo.
Right. Because now you're saying, this kind of business is okay to promote. This kind of business is not.
Yep.
That's fair. But I mean, they would have to go through that screening with any other advertiser that they have.
Well, they talking about like for fence signs, things like that. Well, I think those are bid on where they offer up, hey, we're going to have a fence sign. What is your bid? Yeah. Here's your criteria. So
if we had a little more time for this, we could have done T-shirts that spelled Rays. They probably wouldn't have allowed the shirtless, Rays. But if we had T-shirts made RAYS and then sent them to them, they might have been able to put those together.
I think it'd been great.
Yeah.
Well, what'll be cool is if somebody's cutout gets like a line drive and bang, knocks their head right off the cutout.
Decapitated.
Just before ball goes right through their face, big hole in their
That's going to happen. There's no way that doesn't happen. That is going to happen. Hot shot, down first baseline, that is going to happen.
And there's no word on whether or not we get to keep our cutouts after the season's done. If we can go collect them from the field.
That would be awesome.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm putting it up somewhere. It's going to be
so the Rays. The Rays open against the Toronto Blue Jays, who will be the away team at every game they play this year.
Blue Jays are homeless.
They're homeless.
Yeah, they are homeless.
Canada said, "Do not come home." Right?
Well, not here because Toronto said, "Hey, okay, come on in, let's play ball." And then it was the Canadian federal government said, "We're going to 86 this," and
Justin Trudeau and them.
Hey, you guys can play baseball.
Well,
you just can't play it here.
The Blue Jays can stay and play baseball. They just can't play any opponents that are coming from the United States.
Or they can't go to an away game and come back and play. They didn't want them to go They didn't want him to go anywhere.
They're fine with the Blue Jays going to the Rogers Center and playing ball all day long. They're not fine with the Orioles coming up from Baltimore or the Yankees coming into town and playing. And then
Well, they could play the Expos all the time.
I wouldn't want
I feel this officially ends any conversation about maybe the Rays spending half their season in St. Pete and the other half in Toronto.
Yeah, that is
Montreal.
Okay, whatever. It's all Canada. You know what I'm saying. But it's all Canada to me.
North of the border.
It's all Canada.
I love the fact that would end the conversation, but
yeah.
So the thing with Toronto is, though, so they've got, from what I read, they got two choices, right? One is Dunedin here in Florida, and the other one is Buffalo. Their AAA team or league or whatever. And they said, well, Buffalo needs a lot of work to get the stadium ready. It's probably got a couple of bleachers, and it's probably outside in the park somewhere. But Dunedin, they said, ready to rock and roll. Let's do it. We can play there. Except everybody in Florida's got COVID apparently. So what do we do? So I don't know what Toronto's going to do.
The larger problem with the Dunedin site is the heat. It's 95. It feels
and
like
it's an outdoor
out there.
Yeah,
right
and it's
now.
an outdoor stadium. Here's the thing:
do it.
Here's what I'll tell you. This year, the Rays, I believe the Rays have a legitimate shot for one significant reason, is that it's now a level playing field at every game. Now, no games the Rays play will have anybody in attendance. Right?
Well, the Rays are kind of used to it.
They're kind of used to it.
They have an advantage.
That's like home field advantage every single game.
Yeah.
No matter where they're at. Yeah. Wow.
How about Charlie Morton as the starting pitcher, not Blake Snell?
Yeah, I'm looking at the starting lineups right here.
That's what happens when you run your mouth.
Yeah, that's it, man. We tried to warn him.
A little too much, yeah.
Tried to warn him a few weeks ago.
The chief tried to tell him. Yeah, that's what happens when you run your mouth. I'm pretty sure of that.
I think he's got a GoFundMe page going on too.
I think the good news this year too is any games played in Houston, everybody's going to be able to hear those trash cans banging.
Yes.
It's Morse code though. Bang, bang, bang.
Man, so when is the Astros' first game? Are they Thursday night or Friday?
They play Friday.
Okay.
Against
the Mariners. 9-10.
They're looking for anything to distract from.
All right, so about the time the Rays game finishes on Friday night, we'll be able to tune in to watch dodgeball.
Yeah. Yes. If you can dodge a wrench.
If you can dodge a wrench. You can dodge a ball.
So that's
great movie, by the way. Skills That Kills, my favorite team in that movie, by the way.
Marco Gonzalez will have the first opportunity to put a lick on one of the Astros players.
Yeah.
So
it's a first pitch kind of thing, right? I mean, it's going to be the first pitch.
It has to be.
Are they getting beamed the very first pitch of the season for them?
I would guess that Altuve's your leadoff hitter right in the ear hole.
Right in the ear hole.
I don't know about ear hole. That's getting a little violent.
You hit him in the butt, man.
No, this is beyond the
Pooh Bear's like, this is ear hole material.
He's calling for no more courtesy here.
Well, listen, so here's the deal then. If that's the case,
you stole series. Yes, it is concussion protocol now.
Listen, if that's the case, are the Mariners smart about running a starter out there in the first inning? Well, they should run some guy they don't intend to pitch that game because he's going to get run. That pitcher is going to get run.
I don't know who this guy is.
Okay, well maybe we've already solved that problem
because their pitcher was a sanitation engineer last week.
I mean,
now he's going to be starting pitcher.
He had last year he had a 16-13 record with a 4 ERA, so he's not terrible.
Well, 4 is kind of high.
He's probably their best pitcher. He made 200 innings. He pitched 200 innings last year.
Yeah, so that's a full-time starter. Yeah.
More importantly, apparently he can take a ball. So
this is how this is going to go down. Before the first inning starts, it's going to be the umps are going to get out there. Listen, guys, we understand all the history, everything else. No beaning. Come on, guys. Let's just listen. I got to go home. I want to go home early. Let's not make a thing of this. Everybody be cool. Then the guy's going to get out there first pitch. Bam! Up and in. Chin music right off the ear hole.
No, unfortunately, we do not get an opportunity to play these guys this season unless either one of us makes the playoffs. But they have a beaning coming from us.
Oh my gosh!
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the type of beaning that could span over a few seasons.
Yeah.
Like this isn't going to be forgot in the 2020 season.
Right.
No. You
won't be
literally
forgot
stole a
till
series.
Scores get
Yeah,
settled.
they
It
stole
won't
a
be
World
forgot.
Series from our hands.
Yep. That game, that series that they played went all 5 games. Or no, 7 games.
It was all. I think it was 5.
5-game series, and that 5th game in Houston was the deciding factor. I remember when Tyler Glasnow went out there, and that's when he was tipping his pitch, and that's been proven and acknowledged by him. So that was not a Astros cheating, but it was almost like they were surprised they didn't have to, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But aside from that, that when the Rays settled down, that game went. I think it was only a 1-run decisive game.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the whole series was, except for in Tampa. We ran them. We ran them in Tampa, and they
came in
beat us
here
like
game 3, thinking they were going to walk away with this.
Yes, they. It was that close that only the tipping of pitches or whatever, the cheating, was going to win that series for them. That's how
it did.
If any team has a gripe or a dog in this fight, a reason why to hit the Astros or to line up, it's the Rays.
The Devil Rays. Yeah.
Hey, so come April 2021,
That's the first game?
no, that's next season. Yeah, so it's on if Johnny Gomes is in the lineup.
Sign him.
If the enforcer is back, it's on.
Sign Gronkowski.
Wouldn't that be great, man?
Oh my
Just
gosh.
like
1-game contract.
Hey, give him a 1-game contract so he can retire as a Ray.
Yeah,
And he goes out there and gets like a 10-game suspension.
It wouldn't even need to throw a pitch. It's like he's charging the dugout from there. He's like, it's time, let's go time.
Oh
man, the only guy that
would not be funny to watch.
Oh man, I mean, do you remember the brawl that he started in a spring training game? We're talking spring training, and the guy ran in from center field.
But that was after, I think it was Akinori Iwamura who got spiked by the Yankee player. So Johnny's like, no, you're not going to spike my guy. You're getting it, bud.
Cool.
Yeah, that was great.
So fantastic. Love it.
So do you think the beating goes on all season long? Everybody gets a shot?
Nah.
No, I think after each team gets a shot that you're going to see
I think there's some specific guys out there who are going to want to take a shot. And they're going to do that, and then there's, some who won't. But yeah, I think at some point Major League Baseball will start to protect them.
Oh, game 2.
Well, they're going to have to, but you got to scores got to be settled. It's going to have to happen.
Man, I don't know if this is one that gets settled even with a beaning.
No.
How this team still has World Series trophies.
Yeah.
Well,
no.
Right, but
Pete Rose is not in the Hall of Fame, hit king.
Wow.
We could go through and name not just in baseball people who've been banned. Lance Armstrong banned for cheating.
Yeah.
Right.
But
we could go through and name in multiple sports.
But he didn't go and lose all of his Tour de France titles, did he?
Oh yeah, he's stripped of them all.
Yeah,
he was stripped of them all.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, even Reggie Bush got stripped of his Heisman.
Right. Yeah.
And all those titles, all the USC titles gone.
Yeah.
The whole team.
Yeah.
So what's MLB's reasoning for not doing something? What did they say? I mean, I never heard what they officially said or anything.
Well, so far, the only punishment has been they lost their manager. He's been suspended, and then they lost, I believe, draft picks. Same thing with Boston. Boston was implicated in all that. Well, at least Alex Cora was implicated in all that.
Right.
So he lost.
Yeah, but that's a small price to pay for such a huge violation. So that's what I'm just saying.
I agree.
MLB hasn't said anything else as to this is it and this is why. They're just hoping it all blows away.
Well, there's a lot of nuance to it. So what do you do with players that were there at the time, like Charlie Morton? Charlie Morton was part of the Astros during all this. Now he's playing for another team.
Right, but you got to punish the team. Then you can't go chase an individual.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
whatever it is.
That's my point. So right now you've got a number of players on the team that haven't participated in any sort of cheating that are Astros currently. So
But
you can't punish them.
No, but you
No,
punish
well,
the team, and that
that's why ownership was fined and lost the draft picks. That's punishing the team.
They were punished. They lost $5 million and 4 draft picks, and then Hinch and the general manager, what's his name, Lin Hao, he was also suspended.
but they go,
Well,
but they won a World
how much?
Series.
Yeah, but $5 million fine. How much additional revenue did they probably earn during a playoff run?
Right.
Yeah, more than
Way
5 million.
more, way more
The
than
money
5
is
million.
nothing.
They
The
made
money
that
is
up
nothing.
jersey sales. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
way more. I mean, I think they're the only thing to do, and they're not gonna, is to strip them of those World Series titles.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing: we could also make this argument about the New England Patriots. I mean, they were caught multiple times cheating.
Whoa,
Yeah.
hey. Oh, that's forgiven now. Yeah, all that's
Well,
forgiven.
listen, I didn't say Tom Brady. I didn't say Tom Brady was caught cheating.
Well, Tom
I
was
said-
involved in Deflategate. Come
He
on.
didn't know what Bill Belichick was doing. He didn't know.
He didn't know what Bill. You got
He
that
didn't
right.
see no evil, hear no evil, Matty.
But next,
Wait.
let's talk about the NBA.
Squeeze the football. Feels a little soft. Wait a minute. What's wrong with
So
this
we-
football?
We can talk Tom Brady cheating in 2 years.
No,
Until
we
then,
cannot
we need to
talk
wait.
Tom Brady.
I didn't say Tom.
That's what it was implying. We're not going there.
Oh, man.
He was talking Belichick.
But,
So,
okay.
but the fact is, they have had multiple instances of some sort of rule bending, right? It may not necessarily be cheating, but they've had these rule bending type of instances that they've been punished for in various ways. A lot of it's been monetary. Again, the Kraft family has more money than
enough.
yeah, they can handle a fine. That's not a big
Yeah.
deal. So
Listen, everybody's already forgot about him getting caught at the rub and tug.
Oh,
No,
crap.
so
I
far-
mean,
so
I
far,
agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, you guys even hesitated. You're like, what's he talking about?
Well, I was
No,
wondering if he
I-
was on Epstein's jet at any time, but he probably has his own.
Ooh, man.
Wow. Zing.
And he got caught at that place. That was down in Florida, right? South Florida, wasn't
Yeah.
Right before the Super Bowl.
it? Yeah.
Next to Epstein's house.
Probably
Oh,
so.
wow.
With Bill
Wow.
Clinton and
I want to edit this out. I don't want to wind up on the Clinton list.
I was going to say, I'm waiting for Hillary to put out a hit on you.
I'm out. And
too late. We're all
Hey,
going
so
down.
John says that if MLB doesn't do anything else, then Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame.
I'm with
Pete
John.
Rose,
on that.
Listen,
he should probably be in the
I
Hall.
think Pete should be in the Hall right now.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. A lot of people think he should just be in regardless of anything else. I mean,
Yeah.
Yep.
he did some gambling and all that. I get it. But
Yeah, and I know
He is
we talked about this on a main event show too. I'm a huge Pete Rose fan. I grew up watching the guy play. And I don't know, how do you have the all-time hit king not in the Hall? It's not like the guy ever did crack. Like how many times did Dwight
Darryl
Gooden and Darryl Strawberry get nailed for crack?
Right.
You got the Astros cheating to win World Series. Pete bet on some games.
And and he's claiming, and there's no evidence to the contrary, but he's claiming that he only bet for him to win or for his team to win, the Reds.
right.
So the Phillies too. Didn't he play for the Phillies at one point?
He played for the
No.
Phillies at one point, yeah.
Okay.
That even Donald Trump called for Pete Rose to be put back to be allowed in the
That
Hall
makes
of Fame.
everything right.
Yeah.
He could. Let's see here. Can he pardon him into the Hall of Fame? I don't know.
If he
Donald
can,
probably thinks he can.
he probably does.
Donald probably thinks he
I'm
can.
sure he thinks he can.
I'm the greatest partner of all time.
Oh my gosh! Nobody likes baseball more than me. The Hall, that's me. That's my territory. Oh my
Nobody
gosh!
pardons more than me.
It's the best. It's the best.
It's the best.
great-
It's the best Hall. It's the best. The greatest Hall. Yeah. So he probably should be, but I think it's going to come down to when MLB has a different commissioner. You're going to have a different.
I mean,
commissioner.
they're on their third
Third.
commissioner since the guy got a lifetime ban.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
And Manfred's been the only one that's been kind of open to it, but
Oh, the reality is that the message is getting lost now. They were like, we're going to make an example of Pete Rose. We're not going to let him in the Hall of Fame. And then it gets
Right.
diluted with what they've done, with what they've allowed with
Allowed to
everything
go
else to
on.
happen.
Yeah.
And then plus the fact with time marching on, these new guys, they didn't watch Pete Rose. They weren't around when Pete Rose played. They've heard about him. They've read his stats, but they never saw it. So,
Right.
they weren't Pete Rose fans. The current players, probably even some of the managers weren't even, huge Pete Rose fans. So it's just time to move on with it and let the man where he belongs.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy was a player, man. He threw his whole body at the game, right? I mean, he would he have a problem playing in this era of COVID, or would he say, "Let's get out there and hit the ball"?
John says if Trump was talking about Pete Rose, he would claim to be able to get more hits.
Oh, that is great.
Fantastic.
That is great. That's fantastic, John. Thanks for chiming in. That's awesome. I don't obviously I think he should be in the hall. I think baseball, I think old timers, baseball people, I think you look at managers, even probably owners. I think there's a lot of people who would probably want him in the hall. And right now it's just down to the principle of the fact with, the commissioners, whoever it is.
The entire election process is a little skewed with, it's writers who elect people in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any problems with that.
I kind of do because it's their club, it's their hall. They're the ones that said, hey, we're going to make this enshrinement place and say these are the greatest players of all time. We get to say who goes in based on these criteria of how many people you have to get 80% of the vote. You have to not be in the game for 5 years, that kind of thing. So they set their own rules and it's their hall. Maybe the answer is creating another type of hall. This is a hall of fame for people that isn't elected by voters or by writers.
That's the hall you don't want to be in.
Yeah, I don't know how you do
Well,
both.
now, but you have to create.
Here's your second place trophy.
Here's the one.
Couldn't get into the real hall.
Here's your participation trophy.
It's like the NIT.
Well, and then here's the other part of that too. You think the Hall of Fame, right? And if they had held it to a high standard, like a high moral character and other things to get in, along with great stats, okay, then you could understand that was the criteria and all that. But when you look at a lot of the other people who are in there, and they're
some of the things that they've done,
right?
Right.
Yeah,
So
Matt, that's a great argument.
No longer makes sense.
Yeah, that's a great argument. Hey, I got
it's not the Hall of Perfect People; it's the Hall of Fame.
I got a little game to play. Speaking of Hall of Fame, this just popped in my mind. Speaking of Hall of Fame, players you thought would be Hall of Famers who never will. I can think of two people who played here that I would have told you were going to be baseball Hall of Famers.
What sport? We're talking
baseball. Baseball.
Okay.
I can tell you one of them right now.
Say it.
It's Josh Hamilton.
Okay.
You're right. Now off his draft at that point, right?
But you would have said early in his career he was a Hall of Famer.
His second career, like early on, that's when he had all the drug problems and wasn't going anywhere. That's when the Reds traded him.
Yeah,
but after that, he had that rejuvenation. He was crushing the ball. Just
playing great in Texas. He played great in Cincinnati.
Right.
Yeah. I was thinking more along the lines of how many years did we go to games and think that we were watching a Hall of Fame left fielder?
Yeah. CC was my other one.
Yeah. So, far from the Hall.
Oh, yeah.
Now
Carl Crawford is obviously who we're talking about.
Right.
The other one who I would have thought for sure.
He may be in the Hall of jail cells.
This was a rookie of the year. This was a rookie of the year, several-time All-Star.
Yeah.
Who I would have told you for sure was going to be in the Hall early in his career. No one will speak his name when he retires, and that's Evan Longoria.
Oh.
Yeah, he'd be in the Hall very good. He's going to have a really good career. He's going to end up with, a really good career, but not Hall of Fame. Yeah, he's never going to be.
He started out so strong, though.
He did.
I mean,
his defense has never failed. His defense is fantastic. It's always been his bat.
It's been his bat, and the injuries. He was very injury prone.
Yeah.
So the problem, not the problem, but the resume for being in the Hall. We're talking league MVPs. You need multiple championships, batting titles, all those things. And I don't think he's done any of those. He hasn't been a batting title champion at all. hasn't led in home runs at all. Like you said, maybe we thought that the first year or two, we were like, wow, he hit 30 home runs, 35 home runs. He should easily get to 50 with that kind of defense.
Right.
I think for us as Rays fans, he came on the scene in 2008 when they made the run for the World Series, and he had an amazing rookie campaign. And what we all thought was Evan will get better.
Right.
He's young. Right. He never got better. That was like his best season.
Right. So who on the current roster has the best chance of making the Hall of Fame? I know who I have my vote on. See if you guys think.
The best chance of making the Hall of Fame on the current roster.
Yeah. It kind of hurts me to say it, but
you're going to say Blake Snell.
Yeah, I'm going to say Blake Snell. Yeah.
Cy
Young winner. He's had 20 game win seasons. A couple in a row now, and
you would have to start with somebody that's extremely young and hasn't had. I would say somebody like a Glass now, probably, or maybe a Meadows, someone who hasn't had but a year of exposure, right? So go back to Evan Longoria, go back to 2008 when you're thinking, all right, there's nothing but an arc up for these guys, for Longoria. So I'm thinking the same thing for Meadows or Glass now. Somebody like Snell, he's already been in the league 5-6 years. Yeah, he does have a Cy Young, but that needs
he backs that up with a World Series. I really think that Blake Snell has an opportunity. No. He came in with a lot of fanfare. I don't know his overall win percentage, but it's going to be pretty high.
I think as a pitcher, it's much harder to make the Hall because at least I'm thinking now. This is time period of our age, right? But I'm thinking Greg Maddux, Mariano Rivera, Roger Clemens,
years and years of dominance.
I'm thinking Randy Johnson. I mean,
Pedro Martinez,
Glavine, Pedro.
You think David Price gets in one day?
No. Are you kidding me? He hasn't won a playoff game yet, has he?
Oh yeah, he was the World Series MVP.
He was. That's right. He did finally go ahead and fix that. Get that off his back last year.
Boston, yeah. Here's the thing: is he would be one of those he's like a bubble guy, probably not a Hall of Famer, but he was right there, And what happens is, in my opinion, like some of those names I just named, like the Roger Clemens, the Mariano Rivera, who was the big other guy from Boston, Schilling, some of these guys. These guys, Randy Johnson, they pitched well when they were like 80.
Right.
Yeah.
They played in the league a long, long time, and they were dominant the entire time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rivera is different because he was obviously a closer, but you remember going back to a Randy Johnson and just watching him. I mean, the stuff that guy could throw when he was with Seattle, right? Back then, wow.
God, Longoria's never hit above 300 in his career.
No.
Never hit above 294.
How many seasons has he hit 30 home runs?
Home runs. Just 4 times.
Okay. Yeah.
4 out of 12.
So he's a good third baseman.
He's a fantastic third baseman.
Yeah, defensively, yes.
Right. He's not a fantastic
maybe a Golden
hitter.
Glove, but not a Hall of Famer.
Okay, so listen to this. Randy Johnson's ERA is a 3.29. And Blake Snell's career ERA is 3.24 or 3.42.
So far.
Close enough.
So far, yeah. So I'm just saying, those are fairly comparable, early on, in his career still.
Yeah.
Do you consider era the competition, the
3.24
the era
or Blake Snell actually better than Randy Johnson's?
Well, I think that to your point, that the other thing to consider is that Randy Johnson was on a lot of bad Seattle Mariner teams before they started to play well, and then he went on to greatness with the
Diamondbacks.
With Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a lot, and he kind of had a second half to his career too. He was okay, early on, but it was not anywhere near the conversation Hall of Fame. And then all of a sudden, it was like, wow. He hit John Kruk in the freaking bird that one year in the All-Star game, and it was like he was everywhere after that. The big unit,
yeah.
How about this? Manny Ramirez.
Man Ram. No,
Hall of Famer?
Probably not going to get in the Hall.
Isn't he currently suspended for PEDs?
Yeah,
I believe he's still suspended, right?
Well,
Which is probably
he's
the
hanging
reason
out with
why
Roger Clemens. They could be in the special Hall of Fame with the asterisk.
Hey, I saw Manny taking at bat in a Rays uniform live.
Yep, ditto.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep, in
It
Port
was
Charlotte.
in spring. It was in spring training, but we saw it. It only happened like 6 times.
Oh man, how disappointing was that? How disappointing was that?
It was.
We were like, man, we've got Manny, we've got Manny, we've got Manny. Manny played one game.
I don't ever remember being. I mean, I was excited for him to be in town, but I don't ever remember thinking he was going to be anything that was more than what we, had anticipated.
Well, we got to hope now is that you don't have. We got Tommy. We got Tommy. Oh, they never got him on.
One of the best pickups we ever had for like picking up players late in their career and getting them at a discount was Johnny Damon. We got the last good bit of baseball out of Johnny Damon.
Yeah, we did.
There was a span of, I don't know, maybe a dozen years or so when the Rays were just the best in the business at that, turning Carlos Pena around, the Johnny Damon signing. Gosh, who else did they just bring it in? People you're like, he'll be done.
You can't use Pat Burrell as an example, though.
No, I wasn't going to. Although he did come up in my Facebook memories not long ago. Sometime this week, I was like, "Oh God, that guy."
You remember when Johnny Damon, when he had to shave and clean up everything?
Oh, in New York,
When he went to the Yankees.
I mean, boy, it didn't even look like the same guy.
So what chances do you guys give the Rays this season?
90.
90 what? There's only 60 games.
90% chance.
Oh, okay.
You said what chance do you
So
give?
let's start with are they a playoff team?
Yes.
This season.
Yes. I think you have to say yes. Based on performance last year.
They got pitching. They got short season.
What could be some of the things that prevent them or face or challenges they might face?
COVID.
No, well, it's going to be the division they're in. I mean, they're going to have to. I mean, they got some. Okay, not to mention every year, you're going to have to play the Yankees and the Red Sox. Now they've got to play the Braves. They got to play the Phillies. They've got to play
the Nationals.
Some of the best teams in baseball are going to play the
Marlins.
They get to play the Marlins.
They get to play the Marlins.
They get to play the Marlins. They still get to play the Blue Jays. Yay for that.
They get to play the Orioles.
By the way, make sure when you're referring to the Blue Jays, you don't say the Toronto Blue Jays.
Right.
Because they're just the Blue Jays right now. They got no home.
They don't have homeless.
Just the Blue Jays.
The wandering Blue Jays.
So they don't have a home, and the Redskins don't have a name.
Well, they might have it. The Redskins got a lot of problems, let alone just the name, right?
Yes.
They're being called out for sexual harassment. Being called out for Jay Cruden was called out today. Some tweets he sent, or not tweets, text messages he sent.
So of all the teams that are predicted to make the playoffs according to Fangraphs, which I'm looking at right now, the Rays have got like the 4th best prediction to make the playoffs. Only behind the Yankees, who are expected to win their division, and then the Twins.
I think the Yankees are going to have a hard time because they don't have the flexible players. Right, so Mike Stanton and Aaron Judge can't play anything but right field and first base.
That's right.
True. You can't slot them over to play shortstop or to play third base. When you've got a system where you're going to have pitchers at minimum batters, the minimum batter rule, you're going to have games where
up a bit.
It does. It's going to be this type of play that's about to happen really curtails into what the Rays have been playing for years and years with the flexible positions. They had I just heard about this on the radio, a 5-man infield they were practicing with this week, a 2-man outfield.
Okay. So the difference between the difference strategically between baseball and football is that I would say in football, defense wins the games, the offense entertains.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
In baseball, offense wins the games. I mean, you can have a great defense, but you just can't stop everything.
Well, that
So-
plays in the Yankees' hands then, right? Because
exactly plays in
Judge
the
can smack a ball.
Yeah, I
500
think
50 yards.
baseball is
That's
different
great.
in that you have offense, defense, and pitching.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
You can have great pitching and a bad defense and still be a good team in baseball.
Yeah,
if it never gets
I
tied.
think that's a three-headed monster versus the two.
Yeah.
And all that power, all those solo home runs, those are most of the time just rally killers. They don't really help with the sustainable, small ball, keeping the inning going, giving your pitcher some rest. It's just not. It's not a friendly type of thing for them. And this the importance of rest this season is going to be critical.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. I can't wait. Can't wait.
It does. It's going to reveal some skills of the managers too on how they're going to manipulate
sure.
some of these lineups
100%.
and
100%.
when they're going to pull pitchers.
Well, it's new for everyone this year because of you have to face three batters, right?
Right.
I mean, so everyone's going to have to relearn, your pitching matches, your pitching matchups. It's definitely going to be different.
And learn about your bullpen, who your specialists are. You got a left-handed specialist. This guy's a submarine pitcher. This guy's a ground ball pitcher. This guy's a pop fly pitcher. What are you going to do? You've got to figure all that into. Hey, we've got we're up a run. We've got 2 outs in this inning. He needs to pitch 3 batters. It's going to get good, man. That's all I can tell you.
All right, Jen.
Hopefully it starts on Thursday, like we were saying, and maybe a little bit of smiles can come to people's faces again.
The doubter, Matt the doubter.
I was gonna say we haven't had sports in 4 months.
Yeah.
Rays Friday night. Where are we at?
Beefs.
Probably not. We can come over here if you guys want.
Yeah, maybe we can't do beefs. May not be open.
I don't want to have to wear my
patio.
mask.
No, we can do my back patio.
Patio.
Mary's late to the conversation, but she says no for Pete Rose. He's
What did he cheat at? I'm just curious. What did he cheat at?
Well,
what did he cheat at?
Mary's not the biggest sports fan. To give her a moment.
Well, she's saying by betting he was trying. Assume. Let's say he bet on his team to lose. I know we're saying
Correct.
he didn't, but if he said he says he didn't do that, but
he was adamant that he did not ever do that.
Right now, do you believe him?
So,
he's such a competitor. I think he probably thought he was invincible. So
I don't know. I don't know if I believe him or not.
The guy
and
that would be cheating.
The guy still charges for autographs. He won't sign.
Listen, if he sat down with the Donald, I believe Donald could get the truth out of him.
The best negotiator
on TV or just in on Fox News.
It wouldn't matter. We would never know the truth anyway.
Well, listen, Biden could sit down and talk to him, and he won't remember if he cheated or not.
Oh man,
this is not a political show. Moving on.
No,
Mary, we really want to know. What are you thinking about his cheating?
Right now,
wait. Mary's saying he cheated. And I'd like to see her respond back and say what she's referring to specifically.
What exactly he cheated at.
I would like Mary to run for president. It's got to be a better choice.
Do you know Mary?
No,
I do. I work with Mary. I work with Mary.
You're saying anybody but
would you vote for her for president?
Probably.
There you go.
She's got a good level head on her shoulders.
Listen, you're average American.
Well, Kanye's running. He's getting on the
Kanye dropped out, man. Kanye dropped out, yeah.
He's had a rally.
When he found out he couldn't get on the ballot in Florida, he dropped out.
Oh, he didn't. He just signed up in Oklahoma or something. Let me check.
I'm telling you, he dropped out.
He
found out he couldn't get on the ballot in Florida. He dropped out.
He said, I'm out. Hey, that speaks to Cliff's theory then.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Which is?
I just
remember
realized
when he said he just wants to steal enough from Florida.
I just thought of this.
Oh boy, here we go.
Are they even shooting Saturday Night Live right now?
No,
they
wouldn't normally be anyway.
Replays, yeah.
Okay, but please tell me it's going to be back for this election.
There's no guarantees because it's.
Oh my gosh.
They normally start in September. So whether or not they, toward the end of this past season, they did a lot of at home remote. You do your skit from your house, I'll do my skit from my house, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar to the Man Event.
Yeah.
That pop.
I mean, if I've got to put up
YouTube show podcast,
if I've got to put up with this election, at least I want to be able to laugh at it.
be entertained by it.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see on Facebook they just did this remake of The Princess Bride, which my wife loves that movie. I kind of think it's okay, but actually this is really, really good. It's a lot of fun to watch. Yes,
it was awesome.
Yeah, that
I needed more time. Like the actors would come onto the screen and show their name, and a lot of them are like out of shape and they've got facial hair, and you're like, wait, who is that? I had to watch like 3 times to see who was there. I would have preferred to do it once, but yeah, that was very.
Wait a minute. Facebook has TV.
Yeah, you did videos 20. It's like a 20-minute video. What I saw, but I think they did the whole movie, from what I understand.
Yeah, so some Hollywood actors and some other people got together and did basically a retelling of the story of The Princess Bride, but they did it in isolation.
There were like 60 or 80 actors that got together.
There was quite a few, but I guess
they all wearing masks.
No, they were doing it from their own home. So now some were from the movie. So like Fred Savage reprised his role in one of the 2 bits. Carrie Ewells was in there. I think Billy Crystal was in it. Anyway, so they just kind of do some different segments of the movie and moving the story along. But they were in their home, they were in their backyard. It was just very creative. Some of it was different. I think somebody did some with Legos and riding the horse. It was just very, very well done, entertaining. It put a smile on my face for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it, and I shared it with my daughter and wife, and they liked it as well.
I don't know that I remember seeing the Princess Bride movie.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I don't foresee myself ever watching it.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. It is not a bad movie. It moves along. It's fun. It's definitely got some good scenes in it.
Is it a romantic movie? Because it sounds like it.
I mean, it's romantic as Billy Crystal can make it, but that's not that romantic.
It's a typical fairy tale, if you will, but it's done so differently. And
there's a sword fight. There's poisoning. There's pirates. It's everything.
That's just every Disney movie ever made.
Half of the lines from the movie. They've all been in pop culture and in the different lexicons of everyone. The hello, my name is Indigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. I'm looking for the 6-fingered man.
Mm-hmm. I know something. I know.
Never heard any of that.
You've heard that stuff.
But I know Pooh Bear just said lexicon, and that was pretty cool.
You like that? I've got to read it down here.
You were finding a way to work that into
Was that your word of the day today? Was that the word of the day? No. You use it in a sentence. I'm proud of you.
No, I actually use lexicon quite a bit.
That may have to be a new segment. The word of the week.
Nah,
I could do it.
Last time we did it, we turned into a drinking game with I forget her name now. That girl that was on there. What was the word? It was
Dolly or what was her name? No.
I don't even remember.
We have to go.
All right. So what is this? You guys were alluding to there's some news with the Redskins, other than they don't have a name or a logo. What else do I not know?
They like to talk about boobies, apparently.
A lot of their front office. So they lost their play-by-play commentator for their radio program.
He resigned. Abruptly resigned.
Right. Here's another big word. A litany. There was a litany of other personnel that resigned or quit or left because of these forthcoming allegations that are going to essentially dismantle the entire front office. Wow. And it all revolves around sexual inappropriate behavior, harassment, things of that nature.
So it's like harassment type stuff.
Yes.
Right. And they said Snyder himself wasn't involved, or at least nothing direct, but so there's no calling for him to have to sell the team or anything from the NFL.
Well, I just find it interesting if it's that widespread. How does the guy not know about it?
Well, that's what a lot of people are saying too. But and like I said, Jay Gruden got called out. I don't remember who the player was, a former player who called him out for some text message back and forth that I guess 2 guys had, and he said, "Well, if the team is going down, we're going to air all the dirty laundry. And that's
I think
quote,
that's what's happening. I think there's a combination of that of, hey, this ship is sinking. I'm going to start, lighting it on fire. Let's see what happens.
They'll survive, but they got to make some changes, and we'll see what they're going to be called. But the Red Tails, I think, is a leading one, right?
Oh, Red Wolves, Warriors is another one.
The Warriors, yeah.
There was a guy in town that trademarked or copyrighted all those names that were being talked about. He registered and got the websites. He registered the names, and now either they're gonna have to pick something else and be creative, which is something we.
The article I read said that he did it in an effort to make sure the team got the rights. Like he intends to give away for free.
Really?
He offered it to them for free,
right. Yeah,
but they have to work through all the legal ramblings. But yeah, he said they can have any one of them for free. I don't know how much he spent. He spent a lot of money on them, but he offered them up to the team for free.
That's a diehard fan.
Did not hear that.
Yeah,
did not.
I don't think it's for free. I'd be willing.
No, he said it. That was his quote. The team can have them. I'm not looking for
at least be break even. It's gonna be break even.
Well, he said.
So I remember, Matt. I don't think you were here yet, but when they were announced the Rays were going to be a team back in '95 or so, '96, there were a large number of people that went out and copyrighted names like Tampa Bay Manatees, the Tampa Bay Stingrays, the Tampa Bay Sunshines, and Gators, and there was we were like, wow, what are they going to name the team? Because all these people are going to want millions of dollars to secure the names that they've already secured, and they came up with we think that's they started with the Devil Rays to kind of snake around that, and then they dropped it later to just the Rays. I think that was kind of a known plan. They had the plan all along, knowing that they couldn't get.
They didn't have no money.
Well,
they still ain't got no money.
No, it's the principle thing. You got some jerkwad that's going to secure the name that you want for his own pleasure, just to hold it over you and kind of sneak you out of some money.
Man, I am excited for Friday night.
Well, it's a business decision, right?
It is. But
you gonna get some Cracker Jacks, man?
Dude.
Get some Cracker Jacks. Peanuts.
I'm excited. There's one thing I want to get that I want to.
What's that?
Make sure I procure. Oh, I do some steak too. No, just something else.
Let me tell you, not to get off topic, but I made Dawn had picked up some fillets the other day. She said she spent good money on them, so they were supposed to be really good. I cooked this bad boy up. Yeah.
Hobby on your infrared grill, huh?
Infrared grill.
So,
there we go.
Yeah. You guys would have been jumping ship all on board if you had this fillet last night. This thing was incredibly good.
Did you wrap it in bacon?
Food just makes me happy. I don't know what else to say. I
dab it with a knife and put some Worcestershire sauce.
Let me tell you, at work the other day, girl in my office, April, she anticipated me wanting lunch because every morning I get in, I'm like, okay, what's going to be for lunch today? And 11:05, she drops Jimmy John's right on my desk. I didn't even ask for it yet, and I'm like, wow, this is like
I like Jimmy John's.
Yes. And the new spicy whatever.
Jimmy John's was so freaky fast it actually got delivered to you before lunch.
It got delivered before I even ordered it. She ordered it for me, but there's just one thing. I don't care what it is. When I'm hungry and
Betty sneaky.
I just love food, man. Yep.
Betty sneaky.
Didn't mean to go off on a tangent, but just food makes me happy.
What else we got, gents?
This tonight. That was good too. Man, we got a lot. What else we got there? Let's see here.
Did you guys hear about this Wayfair child?
Oh my gosh, I did.
Child transportation scandal.
Yes, dude. There's something to this. I think. I know they're saying no, but there must be some. No one's going to spend $30,000 on the Annabelle, bookcase. I mean, this is. I think there's
so. I did some research and watched some videos about why this happened. So, if you don't know what happened last week or the week before, some Reddit users were looking at products listed on Wayfair, and most of them were cabinets or like bookcases. A lot of them had doors and cabinets, big, large pieces of furniture. Normally, you'd find at Walmart, IKEA, wherever, less than $200, right? Nobody's paying more than $200 for some of this stuff. It's not solid wood. It's particle board type stuff.
Right.
So they found that some of it was listed for $30,000, $40,000.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely ridiculous. And it wasn't just one piece. It was multiple pieces across multiple lines, across multiple users. And a lot of the pieces, for whatever reason, had names that were people's names, like Chris,
Girls' names.
Annabelle, Scott. You know, and you're like, okay, that's a little interesting. Some people on Reddit were putting together the names of the pieces of furniture with names of missing children and came up with a conspiracy or a thought that this was the way for Wayfair to traffic the children. So Scott goes missing. You buy a cabinet for $35,000. Scott shows up at your house inside the cabinet, and you've got yourself a free child for free labor or whatever it is you're going to do with him.
Yeah.
So it all sounded very plausible. You're like, oh, wow, this is amazing. We know that child trafficking is a real thing. We know that human trafficking is a real thing. We know that these cabinets shouldn't cost that much. You wouldn't pay more than $200 for most of this stuff.
Right.
So I started digging a little deeper and looking into this. Some of it were just coincidence. Some of the names that these people were posting and insinuating that, yes, this person was missing. Here's the name of the cabinet. Well, that person was found. They really weren't missing, or they were, but not for as long. It's impossible for them to be. Matter of fact, one of the girls, she had a very unique name. I don't recall it. I don't have it with me. But she took to TikTok to say, I'm not missing. I didn't get trafficked. I didn't get sold by Wayfair for 40 grand. I'm here. It's not me, right? But yet the news report on the Reddit site was proclaiming that it was her that had been sold and into slavery. But furthermore, the way that Wayfair works is when you have a product to sell, because Wayfair is not it operates a little bit like Amazon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where they have some products and they offer them for sale. But then if I had something I wanted to sell, or I was a furniture or anything really, but a furniture jobber, or I had lots of furniture to sell, I could advertise my furniture on there. But if I don't have an item, or let's say I had 10 items and 9 of them have sold, or all 10 sold, but I don't want to move my last item because now I'll be taken off of Wayfair, I raise the price to a really crazy
Stupid
number.
amount. Yeah.
A stupid, crazy number. So that it doesn't sell and I don't have to claim 0 as my inventory, or they don't take me off and say, well, you don't have any more inventory for us to sell. We're going to disregard you. You're no longer one of our top 10 sellers. You're now a bottom seller. So that is a very real thing they do in order to maintain their position on the site, is to raise the price. So you have a coincidence and, the unfortunate naming of these pieces of furniture, which is just silly. But IKEA does it. They name all kinds of things.
All right, can you see this?
Yeah, that's
pull me up, Pooh Bear. Pull me up.
Okay, yeah. Hang on. I got you.
So Pooh Bear, while you're doing that, you're saying that this is a farce.
Oh crap!
They're claiming.
Hello.
You just kicked him out. He's fired.
We're all over the place now.
Now I'm on the wrong
Okay.
side.
All right. Can you see this picture here? Can you see what he's wearing?
Yes.
Okay.
No. Looks like a white T-shirt.
That says Wayfair. Hold
Now
on.
it went away.
Oh, God, it took so long to do this. Here we go. Let's try it again.
Sorry.
Technology. Hold on.
Find your
And
camera.
There. Nope. Still the other way.
Which
Other way.
way?
Left.
Okay,
Left.
this is
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Up.
almost there.
There we
There.
go.
Okay. This right here is
Yeah.
a picture of Frederick Walker Jr. I'm going to put this down now.
Okay.
Who was arrested on June 21st of this year in Georgia for a prostitution ring, running a prostitution ring. Do you remember the shirt he was wearing?
It said Wayfair.
Wayfair. He's wearing the Wayfair shirt right there. Solid evidence. That is the solid evidence right there.
This is
That
not
is
conspiracy.
Man,
Yeah.
you have been waiting an hour and 15 minutes to show us that. I mean, you have incredible patience, Chief.
Yeah, well, that's how I roll.
Boom. Chief
Wow.
just dropped his mic. You can
Mic
dismiss
drop.
him from the show now.
He's
We
like
don't
a
need him.
sniper.
All right. So,
We-
in all seriousness, Pooh Bear, you're saying this is a farce. By the way, I haven't done any research on this, but I'm going to give you my opinion anyway.
I think it's an unhappy circumstance.
And
That
Cliff,
is-
I'm assuming that was just a joke, right?
No, it's
That
probably
is
real.
no, that's not from me. That is from this Snopes.com. That's the evidence they're presenting, to back up the fact that Wayfair is running a child prostitution. I don't think that's true at all.
Okay.
So
My understanding of this whole Wayfair thing is it started and got its momentum through social media.
yeah.
Okay.
Reddit mostly. Reddit is a cesspool of people.
Okay. So here's this is very important. I want everybody to listen to
I
me.
read it as an advertiser on the
This is
man
this
show,
is
apparently.
this
Yeah,
is
they'll
very
never-
Man event.
this is very important. I want to make sure I have everybody's attention. Look at me. Do not believe this shit that you read on social media.
That's a PSA.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to. This is a general statement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do not believe
All the stuff you read.
this stuff that you read, you watch, you see on social media.
Okay, Dad.
Please, for the love of God, don't let it help you make decisions come November in the election. Please, for the love of God, don't do it.
Yeah.
True life decisions, right?
Yeah.
All right. It is BS.
99.9% of it. Yep. I do not think Wayfair is running a child
No.
trafficking.
No, I pray
Either-
that they aren't. I pray that they
either
aren't.
dressers.
And in all seriousness, if
They're-
something like this is going on, like every one of us here, with the exception of Maddie, has a daughter. He does have a female horse though,
Ebony.
and Luna,
female
the
donkey. Yeah.
But we all have daughters, and we would do whatever it took, right, to right that wrong. So don't read into that anyway. But my whole thing is, it's scary to me, the power of social media in influencing people, especially young people.
Right. Well, it
who
takes
think-
it takes an example, or it is an example of taking little bits of factual information and twisting them in a narrative that is believable, right? And it is believable on the surface. If I explained it to you again, or something similar, it would be very believable that, wow, okay, we know that human trafficking is a real thing. We know that something's happening to these children and these people. They're going somewhere. Conceivably, they're going to buyers, bidders, people that they're paying for them. Seems like a perfectly plausible situation where, okay, here it is. So, you just take those little bits, but then, of course, then the human mind starts wondering, like, oh, wow, this is really happening. Tapping to all these kids. Where are they going? Who are these people buying it? Where are they from? There's a lot to it.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
Don't believe everything you read on.
ladies and gentlemen, please,
Well,
do your own research.
What's the
Make
old
your
idiom?
own decisions.
Believe some of what you hear, or some of what you see, none of what you read, and what is it? Half of what you see.
Something like
There's
that.
something. I'm butchering it, but it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Oh God!
And don't take all of your cues from some Hollywood or some singer or something like that. Use your own brain, people.
I just got a text from my wife. Their flight's
Uh-oh.
been delayed.
Oh no. Yeah, we're getting
They're
into midnight.
Their midnight flight, for which I have to pick them up, has been
Now
delayed.
at
Uber.
I'm calling in sick.
Uber.
Mary, can you call Dean for me?
Mary.
Mary, you let Dean know.
Uber. Hey, well, listen.
Oh man,
you should just go right from the airport to work.
You and the chief can hang out tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll be at work tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I know. It's one of my days this month.
You always got to take a guess.
Well, you got an 80% chance of being right when you guess he won't be.
When
at
you
work
guess he's
tomorrow.
not going to be at work. Yeah.
Yeah, Poober did go to work with me one day.
Yeah.
Let's hear this story.
Was there a ride-along program or something?
Well, there used to be. It's been pretty much shut down since he got on it. But
This was it's because of me. They shut down.
How come I'm
They shut
picturing?
it out.
How come I'm picturing Pooh Bear on the back of the engine like Kramer? In that, here's Pooh Bear. Whoa! Trying to turn around the corners down city of Tampa streets.
This was before September 11th, 2001. I think they ended it shortly after that or at that time.
Mhm.
But I rode with a fight in 33rd on the box.
We were on the rescue car that day. Yeah.
Got to go to Publix and buy lunch for the day and breakfast for the day and dinner for the day.
We had an overturned extrication. No, we did have that.
There's two calls. There was the overturn on 75, and then some dude burned himself with soup.
Huh?
No.
Soup.
He
you can really burn yourself.
It was not Mercado. Name of the Spanish sandwich.
Spanish bean soup, Cuban garbanzo bean soup.
Same thing.
Oh, it was that Bricados?
No,
not Bricados. Oh my gosh, I can't.
La Pressed Cuban.
I can't remember what it is.
No, by Winghouse in Skateland. What's the name of the? This is awful.
Oh, Moreno's.
Yes,
Moreno's Bakery.
Moreno's Bakery. Oh, I just had some cheesecake from there yesterday.
When they were in their old location, it was either next door because it was Greek deli next door, and a man there burned himself with some soup.
Yeah,
and we took him to TGH. He didn't want to go to Brandon. Clifford's like, hey, the hospital's right here,
literally right around the corner.
You wanted to take you there? He said, no, I want to go to Tampa General. He says, that's another 30 minutes, right? He's like, that's the wrong way. He's giving him good advice.
Going the wrong direction. We're going the wrong direction.
He's like, you can go here, we can go there. This is closer. He's no, I want to. Okay, no problem. Wow. Nothing but a ride in the crosstown for me. So
what do you do? Pick up the soup and dump it over his head?
Dump it on his.
I remember right. It was on his leg. If I remember right,
I was saying his lap. It's been a long time since I ran that call.
Wow. So did anything happen during that day that would have caused Pooh Bear to want to call the day early?
I won the Halo tournament after we got back to the station.
The Halo tournament. Hey, who wants to hear some vacation jokes before we go?
Vacation jokes?
Yeah.
Are these actual? Whoa, hold on.
What about the injury?
What about the injury?
The injury is no. The injury the injury happened the week before in boot camp. Brian was using the 30-pound kettlebell for these what do you call it? Kettlebell swings.
40.
Because no, we don't have a 40. And so I wound up having to use the 35 because we didn't have a 40.
Did he just blame this on me?
Well, I'm blaming it on Ashley because we didn't have the right. So anyway, so I did something to my back during that kettlebell swing day, and it just got progressively worse to the point where I was eating ibuprofen during this last week like they were Tic Tacs.
Was that the day that we did like kettlebell swings until we it was like it was like 30 30 30. I think it was a lot of them.
Yeah,
it was like 4 sets of 30 or something.
Got pulled over the same day.
Those are just.
How did you get out of that ticket, by the way?
Oh yeah, I wanted to hear about this.
Look,
hold on.
I didn't do anything to get out of the ticket.
I had a couple theories. Did you hear my theories?
No. What was your theories?
Okay, well,
wait. I did hear your theories. Something about the old badge flash.
Yeah.
No, none of that.
Oh, really?
Well, I will say this though. I was. Look,
get my license.
I'm not kidding. I was gassed after boot camp. It's way less obvious than that. It's just there's my ID. No, I've gone home and got showered and changed and was on my way. I got that hill going down Lithia Pinecrest before you come up to the climb to Fishhawk, and I don't know, just wasn't really paying attention. And next thing I know, here he comes going the opposite direction. And I knew he had me because
he turned around.
Oh, he turned around hard too. And I was like, I feel like I'm going fast. And I feel like
they're not going to turn around and not pull you over.
Yeah, exactly. So
how fast were you going?
Well, 66 and a 45. So
everybody does that.
So I just happened to, I put my window down and he says to me, "Is you going to work?" I said, "Yes, I'm going to work." And he says, "Doggone it, man." He goes, "You're going way too fast." And
were you in a uniform?
I did. Yeah, I'd gone home and showered and changed and got the uniform on, and
You think I can get one of those shirts?
So you didn't have to flash a badge. You were wearing a badge.
I was already wearing it, but I didn't have to flash. But he never actually said that was the reason why. As far as I know, he was just a nice guy and, was going to give.
He was mad. He turned around thinking, I got one.
He was like, son of a.
I got me one.
I got a high
Sergeant's going to be so proud of me. I got this sucker. Oh, God bless America. It's a fireman.
Yeah. I mean, the guy who's wearing a Walmart vest who made that move does not get off of that ticket.
Yeah.
Wow.
He went to lunch later that day and was complaining. He's like, you're never going to guess what happened to me.
Yeah.
I got this guy dead to rights.
Yep.
66 and 45. This is easily a $300 ticket.
Yeah.
I can attest to that, by the way.
He's a fireman.
Yeah, you can.
It was like, I think it was like 280 something.
Mm.
All right, so give us some jokes. Close us out here, Cliffy.
Okay. Where do the pianists go? Pianist. That's a piano player, not where do the pianists go for vacation?
The Keys.
The Florida Keys.
The Keys.
Wait, I'm still stuck.
Oh, yuck, yuck, yuck. These were too easy.
Pooh Bear's still thinking about penis.
I'm thinking about what he said. No.
Where do the sheep go on vacation? This is Pooh Bear's. Pooh Bear, where do the sheep go on vacation? I gave it to you for a reason. Where do the sheep go on vacation?
The sheep. The
The Bahamas. Oh man. Okay. Oh man. Let me see.
Bad.
What we got
I
here?
like it.
Okay.
Like bad dad joke.
All right, Brian. Here we go. This is the last one. Where do eggs go on holiday? New York City.
New York City.
New York City.
Nobody's going to New York City anytime soon.
So wait a minute.
Nope.
You run vacation a whole week, and this is the best.
And you had
came up
three.
with?
You had three jokes.
Yeah, well, I got another one. Where do crayons go on vacation? Anybody?
Crayons go on vacation.
Crayons go on vacation.
Wax, color, Crayola.
You're
I
getting
don't know.
there. That's getting there.
This is
Crazy.
Colorado.
Colorado.
Where do the pirates?
Oh,
why-
please stop.
Why did the pirate go on vacation? Why did the pirate?
Arrgh.
Yes, he needed some R and R.
Oh my gosh.
That's all I got.
Oh.
Thank you.
John is in New York City right now.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen, John. Thanks for tuning in. Well, I don't know if you're there for vacation or for work, but
Either way.
He works there.
thanks for turning in for the man event.
It's the 18th episode right here, guys.
Huh?
18th episode.
Yes.
18th
Yeah.
episode, renewed for a
Did-
second season, by the way.
I was going to say, did we get renewed?
We did.
I have contract negotiations coming up. I wanted to make sure that I had all the
Union will
information.
Union will take care of us. Don't worry. We'll be good.
Family calling here to me. You know what? I'd love to hear more about. I know what John does. I don't want to say it without his permission. And he's got a very unique job with a unique schedule. I think it'd be
This is like a
interesting to have him
future
on.
guest. This is like a future guest.
It honestly could be. I think he'd be
okay.
a great guest.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll work that out with him. See if he wants to come on and say. But it's a very interesting and unique job. I'm interested in it. Put it that way.
Well, I'm interested in Friday night.
Yes.
Sir.
Your Tampa
Sports
Bay
are
Rays.
back.
Sports are
Woo.
back.
Yes.
Baseball's
there.
back.
I just
be
want to hear
square.
it. I just want to hear the crack of the bat.
I just want to see the beard get shaved.
You're going to hear it a lot because that's all you're going to be able to hear.
So, are you going to shave the beard or not?
I don't know, man. I'm debating. I know I said I was going to shave it when it came down to, live sports back on, but I don't know.
Yeah.
People seem to like it.
I don't
Might
know.
keep
Commitment's a commitment. I think you need to shave it for the show, and then
Listen, I will
Regrow
tell
it.
you this. If I choose to shave it, we will do a Facebook Live on the Man Event page, and we'll shave it live.
I think we need to do it Friday night. Let's plan.
This is gonna get butchered.
What?
I think we should be able to shave little initials or little sayings
No.
into your beard.
All right, I think it's time for the show to end.
It is time for the show.
Yeah, because I don't want to be caught shaving Brian. That's for sure, man.
But we should record. We will definitely record the shaving. If it happens Friday night, we'll get together. We'll enjoy some tightly rolled Dominican products. We'll shave your face and watch some baseball, and we'll record a portion of it
All right.
to share with
Sounds
our
like a
audience.
plan.
All right,
being
guys.
said,
All right.
Good times,
Good to be
gentlemen.
If you like what you saw,
Sure
go ahead
is.
and like and subscribe on the YouTube side because Facebook does nothing for us. Our goal right now is to get to 100 subscribers. We're at 80.
Yeah.
We need 100.
Andy.
By tomorrow.
Share
Come
our
on.
page, like.
Tell your
By
friends,
tomorrow.
get people to like, ring the bell, all that. Cliff, I know.
Did you say ring the bell? Did you say ring the bell?
Ring the
I
bell?
said ring the bell. Don't ring the bell. I'm ending the broadcast.
Oh.
Good night, everyone. We
We're
love you.
out. My ears.
Adios.
All right.